Billy Blanchard.
Okay, I guess with all the questions we're on, some great ones. With the success of AFN, what's next?
The world.
All right, I like that answer.
Oh, there's so many things, but AFN is not. I mean, AFN is only committed to this year in 2008 in Anchorage, so we still have to do a great job and hope that they come back in 2009. I don't have enough time. What's next? But I mean, we have major projects. Keeping those flights sustainable and healthy is a big deal. Japan Airlines is, as well as Condor flights. Both have extended their seasons. That takes a lot of our time, and you know, every day it's the everyday stuff too that adds to that. I mean, when we host media that are national publications like and have national circulation like the New York Times and major magazines, that adds to the lore of Fairbanks, and particularly going into the Morris Thompson Center. That's a huge leap for us. That's next year. And looking at this feasibility study for a convention center, I told people one building at a time. I mean, we don't know if we're going to end up saying that we want a convention center, but I think one building at a time is about what we can handle at this point.
Well, thank you for the great questions, and we are staying on time, on a time schedule too. So thank you very much for that. We're now going to reverse course here. Before I do that, just wanted two quick follow-ups on questions that were asked. One was John's question on the bed tax going from 8 to 12. I think the visitor industry really believes that if the citizenry decides that the industry needs to contribute more to general government services, we would rather do that with a broad-based tax and reserve that part of the tax, which is the bed tax, to fund specifically those things that are destination marketing and that are focused on the visitor industry. It's just a cleaner way to do it. Basically has a closer connection between those that are using services and those that are paying for them. And great questions on the J-1 visa international worker issue. I think it's just dialogue that has to continue. I know growing up, obviously as an Alaskan and American for many years, I thought I could never dream of hiring somebody from outside the country. And the reality is just the success of the Alaska visitor industry and the Fairbanks visitor industry means that there are not enough workers during a peak season to handle all of the business. And in some ways, if you think about it, an international worker, a J-1 visa worker, is just a long-term visitor. And they're coming for a 3-month stay. They're spending money here. They're leaving their money behind. They're not taking up, they're not putting kids in the school system or using up government services, really. So in a lot of ways, using a J-1 visa worker to handle just a little bit of that couple months when we need extra workers isn't a bad thing to do. The more I've just become familiar with it personally. But we'll continue to have that discussion as a healthy community, I'm sure. So let's reverse course here, and we have some tough questions to ask. I think everybody got the questions in advance. You won't have to answer every single one of them. And we'll start with the city mayor candidates, and Matt will ask the first question. And Matt, so we don't have everybody having to do it in the same order, we'll start with this question with Vivian Stiver, and then work our way around.
Okay,
Matt,
so
the first question is?
Vivian, and this is again addressed to all the city mayor candidates. In your opinion, does the visitor industry positively or negatively impact the Fairbanks area economy and the quality of life for Fairbanks area residents? Please explain.
Yes, it definitely impacts us positively. FCVB needs to be really complimented on how they spend their money and how they account for their money, and it shows in the numbers. I believe Princess brought in 20,000 more folks to our community this year alone. That's just one company. It does positively affect us because you have also liaisons between the small businesses and the large businesses like Princess. You've been able to share the wealth and pass it on in the community. I don't see a negative. I think one of the wonderful things about having our visitors is they tend to remind us of the beautiful place we live. They're awestruck just like we were. We live here and we love it, but we tend to forget the passion we had when we fell in love with the place, and they remind us. Thank you.
Any questions there?
Thank you. I agree. I think the visitor industry positively impacts our community. It provides us with economic revenue, certainly jobs for our young people as well as other members of our community. I love the idea of international workers. I think it adds to our community and the fabric of our community, so I think that's a good thing. I see from the nonprofit sector the benefits that the travel industry provides to our community as well, so I think you guys are doing a great job, and I think if we were to lose our industry, we would be in a really big hurt. Thank you.
Frank Turner.
Yes, I believe it does have an effect on our community at large. But as far as a negative impact, I really believe that we need more input on the history of Fairbanks. That's where I see the negative impact here. It's not here, it's missing. It's really a dire need.
Joseph Fields.
Yes, I think it's a very positive impact on the community. I do think there is a little bit of a downside, but it's more tangential. On the positive side, we've heard great examples of how it benefits our community. On the negative side, I think there's one little element that is contained in what Frank Turney was talking about. We have an expectation of our visitors that we're going to stay a pioneer community, and we're going to keep our lands pristine around the state. And I, as a person who attempted developing a project, we ran into an awful lot of, no, we don't want you to develop, we want this to be as is in the turn of the century. So I think that's a negative impact on industry.
Thank you. There's no doubt about the positive. I already touched on it with AFN and the fact of the amount of money that it brings into our economy itself. Also, another one is you look at the Condor flights that come in here throughout the year, and they add to the quality of our life, because now we have a major carrier that's a direct flyer to Europe. So we have quality and we have economic benefits, and I think it's very obvious even on a day-to-day basis in Fairbanks. So keep going, guys.
Round one questioning now moves to the city council candidates, and the first question will be asked by Bill Rugal.
Yes, and this goes to the city council as mentioned. If you owned a small Fairbanks-based visitor industry business, would the existence of a successful destination marketing program be important to the success of your business? Or why or why not?
And we'll start right in the middle with Steve Thompson.
Thank you. It definitely, destination marketing would have a huge effect on that business. I've noticed, being a little bit more close to it the last few years, that the destination marketing brings people to Fairbanks. And then this marketing that you have here and the Maury Thompson Center is going to take those small businesses that offer the tours and get these people to want to travel and see more of Alaska and the interior of Alaska. So destination marketing is very necessary, very important, and without it, I think we would not have the success that is happening right now.
Wolfgang Paul, same question.
Well, what I would like to see is that you also address students outside the United States. You know, like my kids, they help out, and they all have summer vacation. And if you need help here, this is where you should recruit people and let them know, because the kids coming back and they show their pictures and wow, you're going to get their families coming back. This is something I would really like you to investigate, to say, well, have a little advertising in whatever newspapers over there, you know, travel magazines. Look, there is a job in the summer in Alaska, and you will get some really nice people to help. Thank you.
Billy Blanchard, same question.
And then to the Borough Assembly or the city candidate.
That was a full pause. Thank you.